everybody, and welcome to our assembly worship time again. It's great to be back with you in my dining room. You might notice we've got some brightly coloured things here and a picture, and that'll give you a clue as to what our story is going to be about in a little while. But I wanted to start today by just saying thank you to all of you who have sent me messages to say how much you've enjoyed the assemblies. And it's been brilliant. So thank you to everybody who's done that, but especially a thank you to Mrs. Moonsbubble at South Crossland Junior School, because they made me a lovely card. It's beautiful. And thank you. It's on my mantelpiece because I want other people to see it. Not that anybody comes into my house, but I know they can see it. So I've got that in my house. And then I had a lovely, lovely email from Mrs. Stocks Bubble at Newsham Junior School. Thank you to you for sending me that message too. And then for two children who live in Cambridge, and that's William and Annabelle. Thank you so much for your message too that your mum sent me. It's great to know that you're all watching these assemblies and maybe learning something, which is fantastic, isn't it? So today we're going to continue our story on creation. It's the last bit of the creation story, really. Last week, if you remember, we heard the sad story about how Adam and Eve disobeyed God, didn't they? Didn't do what he told them, and how they had to pay the consequences. Not good. So I wonder, have you ever done something wrong or made a mess? Have you ever had to make a new start in something? Come on then, shout out, tell me what they are. Go on. Yeah, I can hear you. Come on, shout them out. Fantastic. Somebody said that they've been scribbling in their school books or their work wasn't very neat. Yeah, that's a messy, isn't it? Somebody else said they spilled a drink. Yeah, that makes a mess, doesn't it? Oh, somebody dropped a box of cereal. Oh, have you ever done that with Cocoa Pops? They go everywhere when you drop them, don't they? That's a big mess to clear up. Yeah. What else? Oh, yeah, somebody's just said they lost their temper. That can be a bit of a mess you have to sort out, can't it, if you lose your temper with somebody? Yeah. Oh, somebody's just said that their little brother or sister scribbled on a wall, and that made a big mess on the wall. And the mums and dads had to clear that up. Sometimes, we make messes, don't we? Yeah, I can hear lots of other ones there too. Yeah, well, you've all, thank you. Enough now. Brilliant. We'll go on forever, couldn't we, with messes that we've made. Sometimes we just have to say that we're sorry if we make a mess, don't we? And we have to draw a line under it and just move on and make a new start. Our story this week is all about making a new start. You've probably guessed which story it is, because of course we've got rainbows up there. But this week I want you to join in a little bit and make some noises and some actions. So can you make the noise of rain? Go on. Whoa. This is just light rain. It was brilliant but that was a thunderstorm, not rain. Just light rain. Make the sound. Tap your fingers or slap them on your legs. Or whatever you do, just light rain. Then it's getting heavier and heavier and heavier until it's really loud rain. Brilliant. That's the best way to do it. And then we're going to talk about how the ark, because you've guessed what it is, the ark floated up and up and up and up. So as I read the story, your arms have got to go up and the rain's got to make a noise. Okay? Are we ready? So here is our story for today. God was sad. Very sad. Everywhere he looked, he saw people making bad choices. They were hating each other and hurting each other, making a mess of his beautiful world. I need to start all over again, God decided. I need to make my world clean. And that's when he talked to Noah. Noah wasn't like the rest. He was a good man, and God knew it. So God told him to build a boat. A boat big enough to hold Noah, his wife, his 3 sons, their wives, a pair of every animal in the world, and food enough to feed all of them for a very long time. That must have been a big boat. Noah's family were surprised when he told them what he was going to do. Noah's neighbours thought it was strange of him to build a boat so far from the sea. It wasn't easy chasing and catching and cleaning up after all those animals either. But Noah was a good man. He did what God told him, even when it was difficult. At last, when they were all tucked safely away on the boat, God shut the door and it started to rain. Yeah, I can hear you. That's it. Yeah, just lightly. It rained for 40 days. It rained for 40 nights. It rained harder and harder than Noah had ever seen it rain before. It rained so hard, wow, that's it, nice and loud, that streams and rivers and even the seas burst their banks and shores, and it began to flood. Soon every sandy beach, every rocky path, every patch of muddy earth had disappeared beneath the water, and the boat began to float. It floated above the houses, it floated above the trees, it floated above the hills, and then above the mountain tops. It floated for days and weeks and months, and then it stopped, stuck on the top of a tall mountain. Noah opened a window to look out. The water was going down, but the world was far from dry. So he sent out a dove. And when the dove didn't come back, Noah knew that it had found a dry place to build its nest. "Come out," God said finally. "Come out of the boat. The world is dry. The world is clean. And now you and your family and all the animals must have children and fill it full of life again." "Hooray!" Noah celebrated, and he thanked God for saving him and his family. God was happy too, so he painted the world's first rainbow in the sky to celebrate his fresh, clean world and to promise that he would never send a flood like that again. And that gave Noah hope. A fantastic story. I hope you will agree. Great, isn't it? And of course, the rainbow, here we are, the rainbow, has become a symbol of hope, hasn't it, in the world? We've all had rainbows in our windows and outside our schools to show people in this lockdown that we have hope, that it's all going to come to an end and we're all going to be okay, because that's what we need, is hope, and hope is good. You'll see that I wear these in church. Some of you may have seen me in church with these on. I wear them for services, different times of the year, depends on the colour. But they've all got a rainbow on. And the rainbow on all of these is because I want everybody to know that there is hope in God. So every Sunday I want them to see that hope in the rainbow that I'm wearing in church, because it's really important. So I want you to, for a moment, just to think about this, because whenever you're feeling lonely or sad, you've only got to remember the rainbow, and then you've got hope that it's going to be better, that you're going to feel better eventually. Sometimes you just need that hope, don't you, to know that it's going to be better. So I want you to think about someone that you might know who maybe needs a bit of hope right now. Somebody who's maybe feeling very sad. I want you to think about them and ask God to give them the rainbow of hope. Or maybe you want to think about how you are going to make a new start. What have you done that you can draw a line under, say you're sorry, draw the line under and make a new start and do something differently? Because that's important too. You have to make new starts sometimes. It may be that you need to make a new start by being neater in your school books, or it may be that you need to make friends with somebody you've fallen out with and make a new start with them. Or maybe it's that you need to just help others and make a new start by being someone who's really helpful. There's all sorts of new starts you can make, so think about a new start that you want to make. So just for a moment, think about that. So as you think about that, I want you to think about that and we're going to pray. And if when I'm finished my prayer, you want to join in, you've just got to say Amen at the end. So dear God, thank you that the rainbow reminds us that we can all make a new start whenever we need to. Please help us with any new starts we want to make today. Amen. And of course, with the rainbow, you might remember I asked if you would like to do some rainbows for me. And there has been some from Mrs. Moon's Bubble at South Crossland. They've done me some and sent me some rainbows. So I'm going to just let you have a look at those right now. So here are their pictures. Weren't they just brilliant? Love those pictures, don't you? Absolutely, yeah. So, we're going to sing now, because you always have to sing, don't you, in one of these? Of course you do. And we're going to sing something called It's Nothing's Too Big, 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 Nothing's Too Little, Little, Little. And it's a Dougie Doug Doug song. We did some of them way back at the beginning of lockdown. And this one talks about how God loves everything, big and little, just like he showed us in that story in Noah's Ark. You need to know two things about this. Most of the actions you can follow, but there's two you'll not understand unless I tell you, and that is you've got to hug an elephant, great, brilliant, and you've got to throw a double-decker bus. So pick up a double-decker bus and throw it. That's it, and you'll see where they come in this song. So let's sing it together now, shall we? Brilliant.
Hey! Ho! Here we go. Hey! Ho! Nothing's too big, big, big for his power. Nothing's too little, little for his care. Nothing's too big, big, big for his power. Nothing's too willy, willy for his care. Here comes the elephant. Big, big, big for his power. Nothing's too insy, wincy for his care. Here comes the bus. Too big, big, big for his power.
Yeah, I like Dougie Doug Doug songs, don't you? Just brilliant. Love the actions, love the songs. They're just great. So now we come to the end of our assembly for this morning, and let's say the prayer we always say together at the end. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done, on earth as in heaven. Give us today our daily bread. Forgive us our sins, as we forgive those who sin against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For the kingdom, the power, and the glory are yours, now and forever. Amen. Fantastic. I've enjoyed that one. I hope you have too. Not quite sure what I'm going to do for next week. So there's no art project this week because I can't think about what I might do for next week. If you've got any ideas, let me know. But until then, have a great week and I'll see you next week.